Like, watch an undead 9-year-old girl with the proportional strength of a 9-year-old girl still somehow overpower 3 adult people on several occasions through the course of a film. This is that story.
There's so many awful horror tropes in here. There's so little effort.
Hey guys, so I'm wearing the wrong suit for this.
Yeah, right?
Which is why I gotta decide to keep instead of doing what I should have done hours ago and change out of this. It's like,
see, if you retroactively thought about this and like wore this, if you put out this review before the Shazam review, and then we're like, oh, right, I thought that was next time. Okay, like
I wouldn't know. I didn't have a suit at the time. I was
yeah,
totally
no, I know,
that.
I know, but it would be funny. But
so
okay.
I saw this on Tuesday. You saw this on Monday.
It is Thursday.
So it's been a few days to sit with it. I feel like I've already
forgotten.
forgotten.
What you want to call it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, like, I feel like, maybe just because I've seen way worse films than this, I mean, it sucks ass, but I feel like I've forgotten most of what happened.
Here's, I make a concerted effort to watch almost exclusively good horror movies. Mm-hmm. I go for things that are in the indie circuit. Like, I go for things that are generally referred to as, you know, nerve-rattling or something. Like,
yeah.
Visceral kind of deals. Like, I've talked about the movies I like on here. Like
the Babadook. I know we talked a lot
Babadook, Hereditary, Goodbye Mommy I didn't like as much.
Yeah, that one didn't have a lot of staying power.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't enjoy It Follows as much as everyone else seems to.
It's okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
But
clever premise, but not the most engaging.
Yeah, it had funny moments. But yeah, this movie is a bad movie.
Yeah, it is. And maybe just because I've been doing this for like 7 years, I've just seen so many bad horror movies that maybe I just have more immunity to this than you.
Maybe it's also because you don't generally enjoy horror movies like I do.
I mean, I like the good ones. Maybe
I know, but like,
I definitely don't have the same reverence for the genre that you do.
I have a history with horror films. I really enjoy horror films. I love it when the elements all come together properly, and none of the elements came together properly in this. The things the characters do don't make sense. The music sucks. And is everywhere. The premise sucks.
It's just so dull.
It's not just dull. It's very clear when it's leading up to a jump scare, and it's not even scary with the jump scares. You're just waiting for the shock, and you're like, all right, that was unpleasant. God damn it.
I just remember just feeling like this movie just so lifeless, and like it wasn't even like the fact like I mean, like I haven't read the book, I haven't seen the original movie, I don't know how those compare to this.
I looked up a couple of things regarding how certain things changed between the book and the movie, and honestly I think it could have done better if the trailer hadn't given up so much of it.
Yeah, but that being said, it's a story that's so old too.
No,
is it not?
No, because in the book and the original movie, the kid that dies is the little boy.
Yeah.
So if they'd kept it a secret that the little girl dies instead, that would have actually been a cool twist.
Yeah, maybe.
But they show moments from the movie in the trailer, like up to like 80% of the way through the movie.
But there's like just even then there's no emotional investment in anything that's going on. You don't care about anybody.
No, you don't.
Like what's his name? Jason Clarke, who plays the lead, is so dull through this entire fucking movie.
He does what he can with the script that he has.
But even then, like I've seen Jason Clarke act in good films. I know he can act. He just to me, if this is what I felt like he was sleepwalking through.
The main
I made it funny. Ew.
The main issue that really gives away how worthless the movie is the relationship between the main dude and Judd. Mm-hmm. Apparently in the book, there was a long lead up to their relationship. Like, they met and they started just like, the scene where they drink together by the fire?
Yeah.
That's what they do, like, every night. Like, they have a relationship and a friendship they build up over the course of time, and they grow to really trust each other and become close friends and care about each other's losses. So when And that's why, when Judd starts to lead him into the deep, dark woods, and he's like, all right, now we're going to wade through this fucking thigh-high water to get to this burial spot, and he's not just like, I don't know, Judd. I don't think this is necessary.
It sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something we need to do, but he just goes with it. Who the fuck would go with it? With this dude that you met like a week ago and invited over for dinner once. And
but hold on. It's what, John Lithgow, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's
Lord
John
Farquaad.
That is Lord Farquaad, isn't it?
Oh no, I've always remembered John Lithgow as Lord Farquaad and the dude from Third Rock from the Sun.
See, I've always just known him as the tranny killer. So I was like, hold on, guys.
The what?
The tranny killer from Dexter.
Oh no, I never saw Dexter.
He was the best villain.
All right. That's cool.
He was like at the show's peak right before it tanked.
Oh, that's cool. I've been told to watch like up through season 3 of that show.
Season 4 is the best season, then you stop.
Oh, okay.
You just stop after season 4.
Something like that. But yeah,
John Lithgow plays like the main serial killer in that one. He's great.
Shall I go step by step through all of the things that pissed me off?
Go for it, because you clearly cared way more about this than I did.
Now, one of the biggest things I fucking hate as someone who gives a shit about sound and people who, like, make lazy movies and jump scares, because jump scares aren't difficult. Your body is built to have, like, a visceral, instinctual reaction to something popping up quickly with a loud sound. That's not something that you have to make an effort for. That's just something that you can do.
Yeah.
And the moment that they park the car at the house and they're like, it's our new house, and then
the truck goes by,
and not only does it go by, it's like it comes out of a portal. Like it appears out of fucking nowhere with just this blast of loud engine and horns. Yeah. Why are these cars that come out of nowhere always blaring their horns the moment they appear?
Hey, look,
and
Jimmy,
you don't hear the horns with them driving up. You don't hear this loud ass thing. It's just like a freight train suddenly appears in front of you. Fuck you. Like that moment. This is like less than 2 minutes into the movie. Yeah. I was done. I was fucking done. I was like, oh no. These guys don't know what they're doing.
I think that clicked for me when you could tell right away that Jason Clarke and his wife have no chemistry.
Okay, so then the little girl wanders off, finds the pet cemetery, tries to climb the thing, slips and plants her foot into a wasp's nest. One wasp stings her. And it's suddenly, like, full of color in 2 seconds. Like, it's swollen up and colored in 2 seconds. And Judd smears some dirt on it to help it out and everything. Now, one wasp? You dig your foot into a wasp nest and one wasp is like, ah! And the rest are like, it's fine. Like,
it was like the old tired wasp, though. You know, I just want to get from all those dang kids.
It's like, there are literally plot points in movies where people die because they, like, accidentally bump a wasp nest or something. Like, it just... Why? And I'm really, really, I take issue with movies that use Steadicam for still shots. Mm-hmm, like when someone's just sitting there and the camera's not moving or anything, it's just looking at them, and it's supposed to be like a still shot, but it's just.
Oh yeah, doing that shit like that. The one that's popular, that Hunger Games made popular, or
no, it's
Bourne
been around
movies?
Way longer before that. No, Bourne did it somewhat right.
It did.
Bourne, like, the way
but
that
it
Bourne
popularized
used,
it.
Maybe, but the way that Bourne used Steadicam made you feel like you were actually in a fight during the fights.
This is true. I'm not saying the Bourne series did it bad. I'm just saying that, like, that they did it, and those movies are big successes.
Someone does it right, and then
everyone's like, oh, we can do it too.
The original Blair Witch did found footage well, and then all of a sudden
everyone else started doing found footage, and then we got
So Steadicam for still shots. I have a note here that just says, did the black dude really have to die first? Like, the first death in the movie...
I forgot he was in this!
Is a black dude who was hit by a car who just is brought into the hospital room and he dies on the table.
Fucking hell.
Somehow in a movie with all white people as the main cast, the first person to die is still a black guy.
Way to kill
Good job, guys. Fucking really? Wow.
And I was first like, if I was paying attention to anything, I was just checking off like the Stephen King like
the tropes.
The tropes. Like I was like, does it take place in Maine? Big old guy in the Maine shirt. Yep. Like,
God,
there were no alcoholics in this movie. I'll give it that.
Judd's an alcoholic.
Is he? They don't really make that obvious. Or no obvious alcoholics, so we put it that way. Maybe.
Well, he definitely smokes all the time. He has the nicotine stains, and when he's sitting by the fire drinking, he's clearly just drinking on his own.
Okay, I will say this though: there is no writer as a protagonist in this one.
Sure. Okay, so let's see. when what's her name? Who's the little girl's name?
Oh, zombie girl.
Whatever, the little girl. When the little girl runs over to Judd's house, out of nowhere.
Like really trusty little girl.
She goes over to his house, literally just...
Ellie. Ellie was the girl's name.
No, Ellie's the mom's name.
No, that's the girl's name. Wait, you're right. Sorry.
I know because the next note is about Ellie.
Gotcha. I thought the wife's name was Rachel.
No, Rachel was the sister of Ellie.
Right. The
one with this twisted spine.
Yeah, okay. Continue.
So, the little girl goes over to Judd's house, literally just opens the door and walks in.
Yeah.
Like, no fucking respect. She knocks and she's like, Judd! And then she walks into the house and finds a gun in a drawer.
Yeah. And it's already bad enough that Jason Clarke and his wife are already bad parents.
Here's one thing. The drawer with the gun in it is ajar. It's open.
Oh, yeah.
When she finds it, it's open.
I guess.
Why is Judd's gun drawer open? No, even if he wasn't expecting the little girl. Why was it open?
I don't know, man.
Judd is not the kind of guy who clearly, cleans his gun every day. Like, come on! I'm upset.
It's okay, buddy.
Then, why did Ellie never tell him about Rachel? Okay, so, what was it? The cat, I think this is when the cat dies, or something. They find the cat dead on the road, and he goes inside and tells, his wife that the cat is dead, and they start talking, and for some reason, that's the moment that the wife tells her husband about her sister.
Okay, actually, Ellie was the little girl. I was right.
Ellie was the little girl?
Yeah, Rachel was the wife.
Okay, who was the sister?
I don't even know if she's given a name.
Wow. So, this movie is so fucking boring that I mixed up the names while I was watching it.
Yeah, because I was looking up her filmography in IMDb, and she also was as a credit in Jessica Jones as little girl. It's I'm pretty sure that's not the wife.
Okay. So whatever. The wife tells her husband about her sister for the first time when they're discussing what happened to the cat, because the way that she's telling him about it is exposition.
Yeah.
It's with the idea that he's never heard of this before. And if this was such a traumatizing fucking event in your life, if you have pictures of your dead sister hanging around in your boxes, wouldn't you ask? Wouldn't this be something you've talked about in your marriage?
I mean, it was one step away from going, well, as you know.
It's absurd. The relationships, the way these people talk to each other when they choose to bring up things, it's absurd. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And then she talks about how her sister died, which apparently in the book her sister choked to death on some food.
Yeah, and that's when she falls down a dumbwaiter.
Yeah, somehow in this movie, I don't understand how this makes sense, because apparently the sister whose back is so twisted that her bones and shoulder blades and spine are just jutting out of her back like a dinosaur, and her face is all twisted which is kind of fucked up, because you're literally taking a person with a bone disability,
yeah, and making them crawl to the dumbwaiter.
This lady has a bone... No, not just that. This lady has a fucking bone disease or something. She's in pain, and, they make her the villain in this sister's life.
Yeah.
Like, they make her the bad guy because she's bedridden and upset. And the parents just have no role in this. They just tell the little sister to take care of her. And I guess she's jealous because her little sister doesn't have the bone disease or whatever. And the little sister is so scared that she sends the food up on the dumbwaiter. Now, I don't know about you, but anytime I've seen a dumbwaiter, not that I've seen that many, but anytime I've seen one, it's not at floor level. It's at, like, waist level.
Yeah.
How is this girl able to crawl out of her bed across the room and lift herself up to she doesn't have the strength. It doesn't make sense. They made a completely unnecessary change just for the jump scare of having her body collapse down the fucking dumbbell shaft in front of her little sister. Like, it's completely unnecessary. And it's shock value for the sake of shock value. It really has no efficacy.
Yeah.
It's just a jump scare.
I mean, none of this has any emotional weight. None of this, like,
doesn't.
There's really not a whole lot of effort to connect to these characters. There's like no reason to care about any of them.
Yeah.
No one's acting like they're emotionally invested in what's happening in their own movie.
Yep. Oh yeah. And when they talk about what to tell Ellie about her dead cat, they're like, "Oh, do we tell her he just ran away or whatever?" And the wife says, "Yes, anything but dead."
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about.
And right here in my notes are anything but dead. Ay. Like, they literally just set up the catchphrase for the fucking movie. Are you kidding me? Who says anything but dead? Like, you can say, tell her he's anything, like, anything else. Don't tell her he's dead. Like, there's different ways to phrase that, but the way they put it in the movie is specifically to set up the later when they say, sometimes dead is better.
Yeah, this is so that, like, this will look great in the trailer. Just say that sound.
Oh God. And then when the cat comes back, like, they're telling the daughter he ran away, she's like, but he was at my window. He's like, what do you mean? And it seems like what they're trying to say is that the cat opened the window and walked inside itself, as opposed to the daughter letting it in. Like, really, the way they set up that scene makes it look like that's what they did. And then she says, look, he's right there. And she points at the darkness in her closet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look, it's pitch black. Like... And,
because cats are evil, you can sense their presence.
And I do appreciate that the wife at least calls out the dad, like, in a but they do it in such a stupid, nonsensical way. Because when...
This is great. You remind me of everything that happened in the movie.
Yeah, because I was angry! She says, good thing you're not a vet. Like, oh... You're supposed to be... Yeah. He's an ER doctor, dude. Like, this dude was an ER doctor. This is a professional on a level where they trust him to take care of constant emergency situations in a big city. And somehow the joke is, oh, you couldn't tell the cat wasn't dead. Like, no. This doesn't work. And the movie is basically trying to imply that the dad, who, let's remember, picked up this cat when there were chunks of it sitting around, is looking at it and being like, huh, that's weird.
I mean, yeah, Jason Clarke has, I was just going to bring that up. Jason Clarke has the same reaction to everything that happens in the entire film of just, huh?
It's a complete... like...
It's like he's not trying.
It's so bad.
He's not trying at all. Like, John Lithgow is trying a little bit, but not much.
John Lithgow was good, but he didn't really have much to work with.
Yeah, like, he's like the only one putting in effort for this.
Yeah. When Ellie is brushing the cat, and she's like, oh, it's stuck! And, like, literally the hair is so matted and sticky that she can't get the brush through, and she's just trying to push through it.
I know, and I'm kind of like, that cat doesn't need to be possessed to be that pissed off.
That's exactly what I wrote. I was like, look, right here, really gonna push through that brushing, huh? This really has nothing to do with the cat being undead.
Cat is like, fuck you.
The cat gets pissed off and scratches her, and she's like, he's different. He's mean. And
Like,
it's dude, if you brushed me like that, I would slap you in the fucking face.
Yeah, like I was like, my original intro I had planned for this was just look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth.
Oh God. Oh yeah, jump scares are cheap. Why doesn't the wife want to discuss her awful hallucination? Like, the wife starts hallucinating the sounds of her sister, like, crawling across the floor, which is just this thunk, drag, thunk, drag. And she starts imagining it in the house.
Yeah.
And to the point where she goes to the bathroom, she follows the sound above her to the bathroom, and for some reason opens the mirror door, and there she sees the dumbbell shaft.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, she actually looks up it for some reason, and then the sister goes, ah! Like, flies down at her, and she's like, ah! And slams it shut, and it's just the medicine cabinet again.
And probably the same reason Jason Clarke doesn't tell him about the fortune-telling black ghost he keeps seeing.
But why? I mean, that's more understandable to be like, I'm just seeing a black dude telling me, like, to walk into the woods and shit, and I woke up and my feet were full of dirt. Like, that's scary. This is the wife reliving a past trauma. Like, I would expect her to at least bring up, like, hey, this place is kind of triggering me and freaking me out. I mean,
probably the same reason she didn't bring up her trauma for, like, I don't know, 10 years of their marriage.
That's my point. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. This is not a couple that really gives a shit about each other or trusts each other or talks to each other. They're just placeholder people.
I mean, when you get to the parts I had problem with, we'll get to when you get to the third act, chime me in, because that's what I'll have more to say.
Yeah. But, God, let's see.
What's next?
Who found this fucking burial ground? Because they seriously walk really deep into the woods.
Yeah, they feel like it's implied as, like, up a mountain or something.
Well, they climb stairs.
Yeah.
There are stairs carved into this, it's not even a mountain, it's like just this weird crest thing that's in the middle of a swamp.
Yeah.
And you hear, like, what's implied to be undead fucking creatures out there. Because you hear this inhuman, like, not animal sound, just...
I just imagine that like, joke character from South Park that really came from the original movie.
Yeah.
Where, like, don't take him up there, Stash. You're like what you find. Don't bury your son in the grave on the top of the giant figure. We're looking to swamp.
Was it? And when he finishes the sentence, he's like, "The ground is sour," and Judd's like, "Yeah." And he just keeps going. Like, you're not gonna ask this dude how, like, he came up with that very specific phrasing. Yeah. Like, you're not gonna ask this dude how he was, like, how he picked up on the concept of the ground is haunted or something.
He didn't need to. He read the book.
Okay. And then he drugs Judd.
Yeah. That kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, the daughter dies. Okay.
Yeah, that was after the daughter.
And here's another thing. At the birthday party, the way they set that scene up, they are obviously intending for people to think that the boy is going to die.
Yeah.
And then the daughter dies instead. And it's such a... Like, it shows that there was the intention in the film to set a twist for people who liked the original story. And I kind of don't appreciate the fact that they fucked that up in all the advertising. At least there should be something for the fans who enjoy this.
I mean, like, the little boy couldn't act at all anyway, so I'm kind of glad they didn't kill him off.
He's a baby.
Granted, the 9-year-old girl couldn't act either.
Oh, God. Yeah, she really couldn't. And then, let's see. He goes over to Judd's house after the wife and son go off to...
Don't do it, Stash. Don't bury your daughter up on the burial grounds. You're like what you find. It's not your boy anymore.
And then he drugs Judd, which I wonder why. I have to wonder why.
I'm guessing because he knew he was going to try to stop him.
But, like, how? He's an old man. What's he gonna do?
I don't know. People get overpowered by fucking 9-year-olds in this movie.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I'll talk about that in a bit too, because that was one part that bugged the fuck out of me.
And then, oh yeah, when he's taking his daughter's corpse over to the pet cemetery, and then he like he's about to climb up with her body, and he just throws the shovel aside. And I just literally wrote, how will he bury her without a shovel? Like, and he gets up there, and he just, like, brushes, like, dirt over her. Like, I guess there's enough loose dirt around her just to bury her in a mound.
Sure.
Like, but I remember watching that scene and being like, don't you need that? Why'd you bring it this far? Like, you don't... Why?
Well, my ceremonial shovel is complete.
Oh yeah, and then the dead dude, what was his name? Victor or something?
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
The dead black guy. He is apparently haunting the baby now, all the way at the parents'
right.
house.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Why is, if this dude's role is to come back and try to warn the dad of like the dangers, like don't go back, I'm trying to save your family, like don't do this. Why haunt the baby? Why freak the baby out? What is your motive? Like really?
Maybe it was like the Beetlejuice where you had that little waiting room
Oh
and
my
you
God.
just get who you get.
Okay, and then he goes down to the basement to find his daughter. And I write, why is the basement so poorly lit? Doesn't this dude have a flashlight? And then he finds his daughter and he washes her in the bathtub and then he tries to brush her hair. And the same thing happens as happens with the cat. And I don't know if that's supposed to be creepy, but all it tells me is that no one in this family knows how to brush hair. Like, you start at the bottom, you gently work the tangles out, and you slowly go up. You don't start here and drag as hard as you can through the knots. Like, it's infuriating as someone with long hair that gets tangly. Like, what the fuck?
And this is where I have to chime in, because like the third act is where I pretty much like is the only part where I started to give a shit, mostly because that's when I started to get angry. It's like, first of all, the girl, and I know she's doing her best. I don't want to fault her too much because she's just a kid.
She is.
That being said, like it's just she's doing a horror movie voice the entire performance. That's really it.
Mommy doesn't want me here.
I don't want her either. Like,
yeah,
like it's so nothing.
The difficulty with directing kids in horror films is that they don't really have an idea of what scary is.
Yeah.
It's not like you're getting...
Some rare exceptions.
Yeah, very rarely, and that's why those kids are pure fucking gold. But when you deal with a kid in a horror movie who clearly is not very acquainted with horror films and is not used to scary stuff, and is just like, make your scary voice, she's like,
I'm scary. I can look droll.
Yeah,
I know. Sorry,
it doesn't work.
I want to thank the Rent Tobacco people.
Oh, God.
I was doing that voice. Probably scarier than what we got, honestly. Just all of a sudden, I brush my hair, Daddy.
She just talks like Ned from South Park. But then, let's see, they have the conversation.
She's coming right at us.
Oh, God. They have the conversation about where she went, and she's like, I remember the truck, and then everything went black. And he's like, well, you're back now. And she says, back from where? And for a moment, I was like, the dad just doesn't want to admit that, like, he was wrong about the afterlife. Like, because earlier in the movie, they had that scene with him and the mom,
talking about, like, death.
Arguing in front of their daughter about where things go when they die. And he's like, well, we don't know if there's actually a heaven. And she's like, what are you talking about? And so here he has to tell his daughter, she's like, where'd I come back from? And he's like, never mind that. Like,
your mother sucks cocks in hell. Anyway.
And then, let's see. Oh, yeah. How do the mom's hallucinations fit into the movie?
Not at all. It's just there for filler.
Yeah.
It's just there. It does nothing for the overall narrative.
I thought that there might be a point where it came back around.
Nope.
Like, the house is haunted for some reason.
Maybe it does in the book. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, because the thing is, the house is haunted, but it seems to be haunted by people who died around there, or this is a place where the barrier between there and the afterlife is weaker, or something, and it all seems to be tied to that burial ground. But the mom's sister, like, that whole plot line can literally be taken out of the movie and there would be nothing lost.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything else that's going on. It's just the mom freaking out.
Yeah.
She has that one hallucination where she basically gets trapped in her sister's body and gets to, like get twisted up and shit. And, like,
That goes nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. She just wakes up from it.
Yep.
And that's it.
But that's, and it's like, as you kind of know where the story's going, like, the daughter eventually turns evil and tries to kill the family. But the part that was bugging the shit out of me is the fact that I was like, okay, is, like, she stronger because she's possessed by a demon now? Is, like, does she have any kind... Sorry, I spit on you a little bit there.
No, it's fine.
And it's like, do I have, like, does she have any kind of supernatural powers? Like, no, she just has all the strength and abilities of a 9-year-old girl. So, like, how is she overpowering anyone?
Kick your daughter in the face.
I know, and then,
Kick her in the fucking face. Send her flying across the room.
I know.
Like, really?
It's unintentionally hilarious at one point because, like, when the mom's like, "Oh no, she's gonna get me," and she like runs in the room, pushes the boxes in front of the door. The daughter's like bashing and smashing, like, "I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you," and she's like scrambling, get like her son out the door.
Yeah.
And then the dad comes
Get this. Hang on.
Okay.
So the dad leaves to go check on Judd.
Yeah.
While the mom and baby are trapped in the house with the daughter who has clearly stated that she doesn't like them and wants to kill them.
Yeah.
To the dad's face. And the dad's like, I'm going to check on Judd. Yeah. And he runs off to check on Judd and finds Judd just open-eyed in a pool of blood, stab wounds all over him. And he checks his pulse.
That's right. Yeah, he did. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Best doctor ever.
Like, the third act is where it got both ridiculously bad and infuriating and also hilarious.
It was like, this is the best doctor ever.
It was more like people just make the dumbest decisions.
If you want to be, like, macabre and really fucking sensible about it, you gotta remember, his body's been laying there for hours. At the very least, it's cold.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's a cold body.
No, I could have made it.
All he has to do is run up, like, the moment he runs up to Judd, if he touches his skin and it's cold to the touch, he'll be like, oh shit, that's been there a while.
Or just like, hey buddy, you okay?
It's like, no, it would have been even better if he was just like, it would have been even better if he was like, Judd.
I wish he did that. I wish he did that. That would have, like, that's the ones where you heard one jackass in the back of the theater just laughing his ass off.
Oh, you heard someone was laughing?
No, that would have been me.
Oh,
I was in the back laughing my ass off.
There were moments in that movie where I just started laughing and nobody else was, and I was like, this is bad.
Yeah. I must remember the third act.
But my favorite moment, my favorite stupid moment out of all of this is when the wife is running from the daughter and she shuts the door and she shoves the dresser in front of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And the dad runs up and sees her like at the window, and she decides that instead of holding the door shut against this child, with, like, just hold the dresser against the door. What is she gonna fucking do? She decides that she's gonna try throwing her 3-year-old out the second-story window.
Yeah, that's her strategy.
Like,
and again, it would have made more sense if, like, she had, like, some kind of, like, demon strength or something, but she doesn't. She's just a 9-year-old girl.
She fucking doesn't.
And then, like, the best part is, like, after she does that, the wife gets stabbed.
Yeah, no, after she throws the baby out the window and the dad catches it, she gets stabbed in the gut by her demon daughter.
Yeah, and the dresser's still on the door, by the way. It's
the daughter forced it open just enough to slip into the room. And, I mean, whatever.
And then my favorite part, though.
Hang on.
Okay,
Quick, sound thing. All right. When she gets stabbed, there's a crunch.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Why? When you stab someone here, there's no crunchy sound. It's just squishy. It's gross. Like, there's nothing crunchy here. It doesn't make sense.
Again, my favorite part, though, is...
I don't like it!
It's when Jason Clarke runs up the stairs to see his dying wife, and he just, with one hand, just shoves the door open with the dresser still there. Because that's like, okay, like, maybe the daughter has, like, demon powers, that's why she can overpower this woman. No, she doesn't. This makes it very clear she does not. Because with one hand, this motherfucker just shoves the door open.
Yeah, there's
not even with a... it just bam.
There's no consideration.
Like, door open, and then the daughter still overpowers him in the very next scene. I've worked with kids for 7 fucking years. I could throw a 9-year-old off my back in a heartbeat.
You're like, I could overpower that child.
I could easily, they get the knife and the kid's like, I can't get her hand. I would bitch, no, throw the hand, grab the girl, throw her.
No, you hold her hand with one hand and then just grab her by the hair with the other one, fling her across the room, throw her out the fucking window.
I know. That's it is so ridiculously easy to overpower a 9-year-old if you were like a 38-year-old man.
That sounds really bad out of context. Someone's gonna go through these videos and just clip together terrible sentences you've said.
It's like I said last time. I'm terrified one day someone's gonna make it out of context. MTCN Twitter
viewer challenge.
And they're gonna have years of material to work with.
Oh God,
it's gonna be awful.
And then so we're going to throw the baby out the window instead of holding the door shut. So
here's where it gets even more infuriating. More infuriating is the fact that, again, I remind you, she is a 9-year-old girl with 9-year-old strength.
Yeah.
And we've established it's a long-ass crawl up a giant fucking wood wall, up multiple stairs, through a swamp. Yeah! And yeah, I was wondering that same fucking thing.
If Ellie can't fight off her dad, how did she drag the mom's body up the branches?
And she doesn't have any super strength. We see her dragging her mom 2 arms through the back, through the forest. Knocks out her dad. I can only assume they was out for maybe an hour, give or take. And somehow she managed to climb all the way up this thing with a 100-and-something pound woman dragging behind, all the way up this place, and successfully buries her and makes it back down.
It's twice her size. This body is at least twice her size.
Yeah.
And she's gotta not just hold it, but go up this fucking vertical wall of branches with her mom's corpse, take it through this stretch of woods that is clearly a long trek, as we've been shown before, including dragging it through water, which is probably halfway up her body compared to how far it is up her dad's body, and then climb up these fucking stairs.
Yeah. And somehow she does that in under an hour.
Yeah, she does that.
And makes it back down.
Comes back, waits for her dad, and her dad is like, no, Ellie, don't do it. And then he's ready to fucking kill her, but hesitates because my daughter. And because, any fucking undead movie where a loved one turns into a monster, there has to be that moment where, their surviving family is confronted with, the moment that they might have to kill their loved one.
Which reminds me, did you get the trailer for that zombie movie that's coming out?
No, I don't. Well, whatever.
I'll tell you in a little bit.
But so they have that moment, and he acts as well as he can in the moment with the little girl literally going, ah, 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 that's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. He's stepping on her chest, and that's what she's doing. When he could literally probably just jump with his foot and crush her.
Yeah.
She is not a large child.
And again, she has all the proportional strengths of a 9-year-old.
Yeah. And let's remember that, to give someone CPR properly, not CPR, to restart someone's heart properly, the impact that it takes to do that, you have to break their ribs. Yeah. Your sternum, your rib cage, all of that is really well known for being a very difficult thing to break through to actually impact the internal organs. So I always take issue when some normal person with no super strength or anything is able to just stab something clear through the center of somebody's chest. Mm-hmm. And that kills them immediately. He got stabbed through the chest with rebar.
Yeah.
And it just goes through him. It just goes through him like it's nothing. There's no crunch in that sound.
Where there actually should be crunch.
Yes! There's no, there should be shards of fucking bone popping out of his chest. But it just goes...
I mean, it's not like at this point we're really expecting realism, but something resembling competence would have been nice.
Exactly. I know that there's... I gave up on this movie long before this moment.
So did I, yeah.
But clearly I was still taking notes all the way through the end. And then the twist, which is not the original twist of the movie, because in the original twist of the movie... Ellie actually stays at her grandparents' house. The mom just comes back alone.
Yeah.
But in this version of the movie, the dead family goes back to the baby who's locked in the car, and it's implied that now they're going to kill the baby.
Yeah.
And bury it so it can be family with them. And they'll just be a nice
Yay.
little zombie family. And that's the ending. And
Yay.
and then there's the credits song.
What even was the credits song? I think I walked out there pretty fast when this happened.
Oh no, you missed the credits song?
I think I just stormed out.
It's I remember it's a song for Pet Sematary. It's a terrible, like, early 2000s mopey indie style song where the lyrics are something along the lines of, I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again. Like, it's not even on the nose. It's about the movie. And it's just this girl singing that she doesn't want to be buried in the pet cemetery.
Yay.
It's bad. It's really
I
bad.
believe you on that.
It's really bad.
That's like
was
one thing.
it.
There's something I don't mention. Like, I get a trailer for this, like another like parody zombie movie. It's like The Dead Don't Die. It has like Bill Murray and Adam Driver playing cops in a small town that gets infected with zombies. But the best part of that though is when they have the first zombie attack in a diner, and they're like the two cops standing there like, "What do you think happened to this?" And there's like, must have been like,
No.
what?
Was this originally a Ramones song?
Don't play it too loudly. I don't get hit for copyright.
No, I know. Oh my god, the Ramones actually did this. That's sad.
Probably for the original movie back in like what?
Probably.
The 80s?
But Starcrawler did a song which is just called Pet Cemetery.
Well, now I have to cut this whole segment.
No,
out.
with a few seconds, it's fair use. Fair use. Fuck it.
That doesn't mean I want to fight that fight. That's a pain in the ass. Oh, thanks, Muha. Thanks.
Don't want to live my life again.
Turn that off
if
before I
it's
have to
less-
fight YouTube.
If it's less than 10 seconds of clear music, you'll be fine. But yeah, it's bad. Everything about this movie is bad. Like, every single thing. The production, like, the acting, the writing, the way it's structured, the jump scares, the sound design, the pacing, the editing, the camera work, the music. It's all just overbearing and terrible. It really does feel like one of those low-budget, shitty horror movies,
Yeah.
except with a larger budget. And if you look at their resume, the resume of the people behind this movie, you can tell.
I mean, like, this is even the worst movie I've seen this year.
No, of course
so
not.
Far.
Of course not.
Because like we did see I probably would have been angry at this if I didn't see Dumbo last week.
I gotta watch that review.
Well, that's a case where Laura got really mad.
Oh, jeez.
Because Dumbo's like her favorite Disney movie. Yeah.
Did they keep the Heckle and Jekyll racist crows?
No, the crows are gone. They don't even mention crows at all through the entire
Okay.
movie. So they clearly
At
wanted to-
least but the animals don't even talk, right?
No.
Yeah, so there you go.
They're all just placed with two really wooden kids and Michael Keaton for some reason.
And Danny DeVito.
And Danny DeVito.
And Colin Farrell.
And no one wants to be in it.
It's sad. Anyway.
But no, like as I mentioned before, though, there's a movie coming out with Bill Murray and Adam Driver called The Dead Don't Die, and it's where they play like two cops like in a small town where zombie infection takes place.
Okay.
But it's very tongue in cheek, so like
Good. I'm into it.
Like it starts out like in a diner where a bunch of people die because of zombie attack, and they come in like, what do you think? It turns to Adam Driver like, what do you think caused this? Was it like mass murder? Was it like a serial killer or something? That Adam Driver looks inside, looks back at Miller, is like, I think it's zombies. And he's like, really? Like Aaron looks like he's insane. Like, yeah, zombies.
You gotta appreciate a zombie movie parody that actually has the
Dude, that one
guts to say zombies.
That one has a mortician who's also like a study in like Japanese sword fighting.
It's like the priest who does kung fu in Dead Alive.
Yeah, pretty much. It's more like Kill Bill, but in Zombieland.
Yeah.
So,
I kick ass for the Lord.
which reminds me, have you seen Preacher?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Big
love that
fan.
show. Love that show.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to season 4.
I think it's the last season after that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. But anyway.
Well, no, I thought it was going for 5 seasons.
No, they said they're stopping at 4.
Really?
They just announced that recently.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it so far.
Me too. You know,
Also, given that I finally finished the comics recently.
I still keep meaning to read the comics.
They're
Right
good.
now,
They're
like, it's definitely, it's on my list of things that, like, I got a big
It's-
long list now.
It's not easily bingeable.
No.
Like, you can't read all 5 books in a short span of time.
No, that's what I've heard, too.
But you can probably read, like, a volume per month and get through it pretty... Yeah, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, so Pet Sematary, suck balls. I mean, like, again, if I'm comparing to, like, other movies I've seen this year that I know are, like, way worse, like Dumbo or Medea or...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't... It's not relative. It's just a bad movie.
I guess...
It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money.
Go see Shazam.
Go. I would rather see Shazam a second time.
I just did. I had a way better time.
As someone who has an AMC Stubbs A-list thing, where I can just go see movies at no extra charge, I regret seeing Pet Sematary, because that was an evening I could have spent enjoying instead.
I don't know. We'll see. From what I heard, Hellboy is going to be an interesting experience next week. So.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, you got any
Alright.
final thoughts for Pet Sematary?
Those were my final thoughts.
All right, fair enough. I don't feel nearly as strongly about it as you, but I do definitely agree with everything you said. It's more like, it's not even like the plot holes matter so much to me, but it's more like when a movie's so bad and uninteresting that's all you can see, that's a fucking problem.
When I literally took more notes on this movie than I have for any other movie I've seen for this project, I should tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there going under my jacket and going like, what the fuck? Why?
And we saw Robin Hood.
That was fun, at least.
That was.
Did I tell you I showed some of my friends?
Their view.
Yeah. No, I showed them the movie.
They react.
Michael, I bought it. I
Nice.
bought it to
Yeah, I'm
show
gonna give you a
people.
high five for that. Yeah, I
It's
respect
that good bad.
I still just remember the guy behind us.
My
Rubbish.
friends didn't agree. My friends were upset at me.
I feel like it's when I recommended Ghost Rider 2 to you, and you sent me a text message going, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, it was like, this isn't even fun.
I had fun. That's just me.
It's one of those things where I have friends that I every now and then have bad movie nights with,
Yeah.
and we always find new things to subject each other to.
I still gotta show you
And-
Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
Oh yeah, we got to do that. But yeah, Robin Hood definitely infuriated them to the point where they weren't there. We ended up pausing. It was weird because we ended up splitting it into 3 acts because it's basically 2 hours. So every 40 minutes we stopped and we went to like refill our drinks and go pee, but it's not like we intentionally measured 40 minutes.
Just
it was
how
just
it worked out. How much you can tolerate
40
at a
minutes
time.
in, they were like, I can't deal with this. I need a break. And then another 40 minutes in, without realizing it had been almost exactly 40 more minutes, they said, I need another break. And that was the point where I turned and looked at them and said, hey, we're 2/3 of the way through. I said, how? How does this movie have anything left? And yeah, it's terrible.
Like, there's
it's
2
hilarious.
movies I want to sit down with you to watch one of these days.
Yeah.
One is Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. The other one is Winter's Tale. If you have not heard, oh my god.
Oh boy.
It's
I'll
something.
I'll intentionally not look it up.
It's
so
like
you
it's
can
one of those things
surprise
like
me.
I don't even want to say anything about
Okay,
it. But
okay.
I'm just it's one of those movies.
Okay, we'll do it.
You wouldn't believe what happened if I told you.
Well then, you'll have to show me.
Yes.
All right, we should have both of those for the face cam one. Have a double feature.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Anyway,
All right.
let's wrap this up.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we got. Next week is Hellboy, which is just getting panned.
Oh boy.
I think it's like 11% on Rotten Tomato right now. Like, it's being torn to shreds.
Ooh, that's too bad.
Like, one of the worst critiques I saw about it, and then one was like, ouch, that fucking hurts, is somebody said, like, you know, you gotta feel bad for the director, because he's trying to make like a B movie, B horror monster movie, and with Mila Jovovich, and you know the entire time she's making it, she's thinking, my husband can do better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. That's rough, man.
Yeah.
That's rough. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, so I think it's me and Wes for that one. He says he wants to do that one, so
Yeah, I can join.
if you want to, you're more than
It's
welcome.
been a while since I've been in a threefer.
And that's been a long well down to 3 for you. Her and you guys on the same schedules like hurrying cats.
Hey, once we got out of school, it's just tougher.
Yeah,
figure it
we're
out.
all adults now.
Right.
That's why I want to get to a point where you can start just paying you guys. I feel like it'd be much easier to get you guys out for nights.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yep, we'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next week.
Pet Sematary sucks.
Yes, it does.